Ooh, girl, the struggle is real. What are we gonna do without our engineers tonight? They have me engineering. You see, I'm sitting here pushing buttons, don't know what I'm doing. Like,
We'll
welcome
get
to
through it.
Unjust.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hey, Nika, good to see you twice in a day.
I know. Hi, Shantae. How have you been?
Amazing. I've been amazing.
That's good. That's good. I've been great myself.
Good, 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 good,
Life's
good.
been interesting.
Life is always interesting. So, tonight we're going to talk about some real interesting stuff, right? Like, not to go too, just jump right in, but to jump right in. Like, how the hell, that's all I can say is how the hell do you lose your life and not, your family not receive your property, although you weren't even arrested? Like, how the hell? So,
I want to know how you leave to de escalate a situation, and then the situation follows you.
I want to know why the major news outlets, like, the only real reason why we have any facts or details of this story is because we found them out from the change.org petition that the family had to put together to to fight for, ask for, demand justice for their loved one. So I want to know why the news outlets didn't do a fair, equal, and just um, way or manner of covering the story. And then they get two little light skinned black guys. You know, it's always the light skins. I hate to pull the race card and the color card, but it's always the light skins. It's always us, like, black power.
Was it just, it's so many things about it that's unsettling, disheartening. Again, it's for them to have to go through so much. I mean, losing a loved one in itself is a lot, but then to have to fight that fight because it just seems like no one is doing their job. It was rattling to me that they haven't received contact from the DA's office. I mean,
Oh,
there's,
that's why I said the light skins. I'm glad you said the magic word, the DA. I had to say that to buffer this because Kiana, when we were rallying for justice for this young man, we're going to get into this conversation. Kiana Jones is a activist in the Atlanta area. One of the main things that she said is, Tasha Mosley, your black ass is just as black as me. Why haven't you brought any justice to Jabril Robinson?
or I
So,
mean,
because if
acknowledge.
I said it, it would be colorism. So I had to kind of ease that in there. So thank you for baiting me up so that we can break this whole conversation down to brown and black people being treated with the lack of justice. So we can break this down. So we keep putting these people in position, thinking that they're going to do their job as district attorneys, thinking that because we're electing someone that looks like us, whether they want to acknowledge it or not, we're putting them in office not because of what they say out of their mouths, but because we think that because they look like us, that they're going to represent us and represent our best interests and have our best interests at heart. And in this case, they've done an absolute disjustice to this family. And District Attorney Tasha Mobley, whatever her name is, out of Clayton County, she ain't did nothing except for send the assault rifles out while we were just passing out literature asking for justice. They actually had a police officer with a semi assault rifle take pictures of us. There were three of us, including my son. You know, usually my 5-year old, usually I say things like, considering that my son doesn't grow up watching and seeing guns, something like that could lead to trauma in a child, you
Yeah.
know, while we are, participating in um, you know, just peaceful protesting.
The fact that you have to demand it, and I mean, from the beginning, is ridiculous. So the fact that they are being so deliberately opposed to addressing the issue, it's disheartening.
Yes.
But not surprising, but disheartening.
Yes. So, with that, would you like to introduce the case, the name of this young
So,
man, so that we
so
know who it is? Go for
the
it, Miss
issue we've
Jabril.
been referring to is the murder of Jabril Robinson by the Clayton County Police Department. Um, Jabril Robinson's sister, Miss Naya, is here to shed light on his story. His family, like we have been stating, is demanding justice, demanding acknowledgement from the DA's office to say, hey, yes, this did happen, and we are going to use the resources that we have to look into it. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to introduce Miss Naya.
Oh, Nika's breaking up a little. All right, unless it's my phone. Hi, Naya.
Hey, do I sound okay?
Yes.
We can
How are
hear you.
you tonight, Queen?
I'm doing well.
You look awesome.
Thank
You
you.
do. You do. So, who is your brother to you? Like, what kind of brother was he?
My brother was, because I'm the only girl, out of our kids, my brother was very overprotective of me. He was very loving. He was very all about his music, and he was just very family orientated.
Yeah.
Where did he go to school?
He moved around a lot. His high school, he went to Westlake. He went to a few high schools.
Okay. So y'all from around. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm interested in who he is as a person, like what he liked to do. You say he made music. He was a rapper.
Yes. He loved music.
Okay.
Awesome.
He was all about his music.
She's like, he was all about his music, which means that he was all about his music and all about you not touching his music. Don't
Yes.
touch, don't
But
touch that sound table. Don't touch those CDs. Look, I'm dating myself. Was he like that with you? Like,
he
what
was
was it like being in a household with this young man?
it was it was great. It was great. I miss it. I miss every bit of it. He loved to make a lot of jokes. That's all he did was talk about his siblings, make jokes. He had everybody laughing all the time.
That's beautiful. We like people to know about the spirit because a lot of times we just hear about the end, you know? And although that's tragic, we want to remember who he was, the the happiness that he brought to not only you but the rest of his family, everybody that he knew. So it's really important to us that you talk about, just how he made you feel, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was, like I said, he was very overprotective. Because for a long time I was his only sister. He has two other sisters on his dad's side, but he was just that brother when our parents wasn't around. He would step in, and he would just be that big brother. You know, he he was such a mess. I remember a time he was helping me with my homework, and I was like really really young. I was like in elementary school. He was helping me with my homework, and I wasn't getting it right. So he was like, "You're not leaving this table until you get this homework." Like,
Did you say it?
he was like, "Call mom. You can cry, but you ain't leaving this homework until you get done with this." He was like, "You're not leaving this table until you get done with this homework."
Right.
Did you go there, Naya? Did you go there with him? Like, you ain't my daddy. Did you say it?
All the time. But he was like, "Okay, but I bet you're not gonna get up from this table." Like, this homework.
How
He
much
was
older was he than you?
um because he was 23 at the time of his death, and I think I was only 16.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
I'm not
but
going to do the mental math, but
7 years older.
7 years. Oh, that's the same distance between me and my brother, too.
yes, he was that brother though, and it was a blessing to be around him, to have him as a sibling. Is is we just have a lot of memories. I could go on and on and on.
That is
Yeah.
beautiful. That's beautiful. I could tell he warmed your heart.
He did. He did. Everyone around him. Like when he passed, so many people. that we didn't even know that knew him. So many people would come and tell us stories about how he changed a lot of their lives. So he was a very positive impact on a lot of people.
What's
That's
one of what was one of the stories that the most memorable, heartwarming stories that you heard about the impact that your brother's life had on someone
So,
that you did not know?
this lady, she came and told my mom about a story how I think like one time she was I don't remember what she had, but she had something. And she told my mom that my brother saved her life, and she was saying she had like got really, really sick or something. And she was telling my brother, like, I don't want to lose my apartment, and I want everything to be okay while I'm in the hospital or whatever. And when she got back out of the hospital, she just said that he made sure everything was straight, like her household. He paid the bills. He really made sure that everything was okay. And she was just telling us like he really saved my life. And it was just crazy because like it was just mind blowing that he actually did what, watched her household. He made sure it was okay. He paid her rent and everything. She was just like, I was not expecting that. And that just warmed my heart, you
Mm.
know.
So um, I'm there with you. Like this isn't my brother, and I'm ready to tear up with you. Um, can you tell us about the night that the police were called and what happened?
Okay. It was May 16, 2016.
Actually, hold on. Before you go there, Nike, did you want to show the PowerPoint first, or do you want her to share first? Which would
go.
you?
I'll start sharing it while you talk. You can go ahead.
Okay. So it was May 16, 2016. He was at his girlfriend's mother house, and they were getting into a small altercation. Um, the girlfriend's mother called the police, to de-escalate the situation or whatever. Um, Once he found out that the police were, called or whatever, he, left. He left on foot. He was walking. When the police arrived to the house, they, asked what was going on. Was he still there? They were notified that he was walking on foot, because we didn't live too far from the girl's house to walk home. So, the police, they were notified that he was walking on foot. So they was like, okay, we're going to go to try to catch up with him, make sure everything's okay, de-escalate the situation. So when they did arrive on the scene, he seen them and he took off running. um as he was running, I guess, he was getting away. He was hiding, a few spots to try to get away from them. The One of the police officers, Dwayne Parkin, he caught up to him, and he shot him in the back of the head.
Okay, so was he armed?
It was a lot of stories about him being armed, and I just want to say that he wasn't. um there was no gun found on the scene. It was a lot of stories. When it first happened, they were saying that he got into a shootout with the police. They were saying as he was running, he was shooting at the police, but his back was turned towards the police the whole time. So I don't understand, how could you be shooting at someone that's behind you while you're running away from them?
Right, I agree. So, according to the press, as Nika has documented, if you see
Mhm.
the fourth bullet point, it says the woman stated over the phone that Jabril was unarmed. The fifth bullet point, by the time the police arrived, Jabril had already left on foot.
Mhm.
So, if he was being called around a situation and an altercation with the girlfriend, him already leaving, this is the press. This is what the press actually
Mhm.
reported. Like they did their job. And you just said that he tried to de escalate the situation. So everything that you said matches what the press said.
Mhm.
Um, and then it says the officers
The only
verify
thing
with
that I would,
them the officers verify with them that he was not carrying a firearm and stated that they will find him, talk to him, and bring him back.
Mhm.
Nikkei, what were you going to say?
I was just gonna say that the reason why I stopped at the officers chased him into someone's backyard was because after that I noticed that the media reports different. Like Naya said, some of them said that police twice. Some of them said that he a weapon to. None of them said that he was shot in his back, in the back of his head. None of I think one of them might have said that there was a gun at the scene. I'm not sure, but that was why I stopped there because I noticed the inconsistencies in the media report, and I wanted not to clarify exactly what happened at that time because I mean that's a huge piece. If there was no weapon found, first of all, the fact that the situation was already de-escalated and they went to find him, that's I don't know. That seems like a lot to me. That
Mhm.
seems like a lot. So then for them to then chase him when he started to check, it's just like I feel like that's a lot. You know, you're doing all of this because what? Who are you saving? Who are you defending? What's happening? Because the young lady and her mom, from the reports that I read, clearly stated that when the police arrived, he was not there, and they told them repeatedly that he was unarmed. They said that they were asked repeatedly if he had a firearm, and they told him when he did not have a weapon. And and she actually said that she was like, if I would have known that that's what they were gonna do, I would have never called.
Mhm.
And to put people at that place
Yeah.
is. So Naya,
What?
did you guys ever receive an autopsy report?
Yes, we did. We received an autopsy report when
And
he
it
first. They, my mom received one.
so did you guys have to contact them for that, or did they come forth
We
and provide it for you?
we had to contact them for that.
Did they? What did they do? Like, not so much what didn't they do, but did they? Like, I know that it's been hell. It's been what, 6 years,
Yes.
and they haven't returned any of his personal belongings yet, and he wasn't arrested.
Mm-mm. And they closed the case, so after they closed the case, we were like, okay, can we get his belongings? You're saying that the case is closed, so why are you still holding on, to his belongings? That's something that we should have.
Wow.
Did they provide a reason?
They said that, well, when they closed the case out and we were asking why didn't we provide anything, they still had the, or we're still investigating, but you're not investigating if the case is closed.
Yeah.
You're investigating if you closed out the case.
Hmm. So what's it been
So
like?
were there ever? Go ahead.
Like, what's it been like for you, um, with when it comes to the outside world? Like, has there been a shift?
It's pretty rough. It's been pretty rough. Because when things like this happen, the media, you know, bash your loved one. They come out story, they say because he had a lot of tattoos or because he was smoking, on Instagram or whatever, they'll say, oh, he was a thug, he was already violent, things of this nature. Like how they said that he got when it first happened, they said he got into a shootout with the police. People, it's a lot of times why we don't get the justice that we need, or sometimes doors are closed because they like, well, hey, he's some other thug. This was meant to happen. Things like that. It's just hard sometimes, to get through to what we need to, or to do what we need to do, because of how they try to dehumanize your loved ones, how they talk about them, all type of stuff. It's been very hard.
Hmm. Nikki, what were you asking?
I believe I was going. It was going towards the same thing. Like, what are the different things that y'all have had to do to get as far as y'all have gotten, to get your autopsy report, to get, like, what else did you have to do to get what you needed to kind of move forward? Because I know the DA, like Sean said, there's everybody's still out and still rallying. Are you any type of communication? Is there any back and forth with anybody from Clayton County saying, "Hey, this is the steps that you need to go to get it reopened," or anything?
We had a meeting with the DA, the Clayton County's DA. Once, well, it wasn't even a meeting with her. It was a meeting with her representatives. Um, to see the case file. Even with the case file, she told us that we couldn't have the case file, that we had to pay for the case file. The things that we went through, like it was a few pictures, and then
Wait,
we.
wait, 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 wait. This is your loved one.
Hmm.
This is your deceased loved one. This is your deceased loved one by the hands of the police when they don't know if it's guilt, innocent. Like there's a lack of clarity of what happened, and they made you pay for the case files.
They told us that we would have to pay to receive the case.
That's just tacky. I mean, for lack of better words, like,
And
wow,
I'm good
Clayton
and
County.
petty, and ugh, I feel so many types of ways about Clayton County, anyways, and that just
She showed when the representative
adds
showed
to how about Clayton. Okay.
missing information in the case file. She went through it and picked out only what she wanted us to see. She took information out of the case file.
Did they have any markers with like the Sharpies where they scratch through different sentences and statements and things like that, or did they just omit them entirely?
I'm not sure. File. I know my mom did. I'm not.
Wow. Mm, wow.
That's a lot. So, and after this, like, so did y'all, when y'all went in, like, at that occasion, y'all had legal representation with
Oh,
y'all?
hold on one moment. Miss Robinson said yes, they did. So they went through and they just omitted what they wanted to omit. They took markers and
Took out
they
entire pages? Hi, Miss Robinson. Thank you.
thank you. Thank you for chiming in, Miss Robinson. So
That
what
is
can
tacky.
what can we do? Like, what can we do to support? But like, I know there's a change.org. What's the petition's name?
The petition's name, it should be. Just me a
It's
moment.
on my, if we go put the
Can
slideshow
you
back up.
drop it into the comment? Oh, wait, we got to go back to the slideshow. Hold on one second. I need to come off camera real quick.
It's on the, it's on the fifth page.
Okay.
So here's the three different links that I included to draw to the petitions that are being put out for in honor of Jabril, to get justice for Jabril. So any and everybody that is watching, please, it takes no time to go and sign a petition, to give what you can to a GoFundMe, because they need the funds. You said they're getting, like Naya said, sorry, they're getting the runaround. They're having to pay for simple things like documents, for something that they never foresaw, for something that was done at the hands of the police. So you would think they would get some type of, I don't know, some type of reprieve, some type of communication, just cooperation, at least from the DA's office, Clinton County in general. It's disgusting to know that they have dismissed it. And that's why we continue to scream Black Lives Matter. And it's terrible that not only do they have to heal from what has happened to their son, to their brother, but they have to then relive it by telling this story all the time, by constantly going out and, rallying for it. As much as I know in your heart, it probably, but it's to have it, to relive it all the time, I'm sure it takes its toll. So please, anybody, and any and everybody, please go to these links, and I'll let Naya explain exactly like the types of things that the change.org petitions can help get done.
So the change.org, if once we get, like enough signatures, it can possibly get the case reopened. It can get her to review the case once again, to give it another look, to even try to do something with the case. It could, get the story out more, anything.
Yes.
And I'll say this too:
what
people fail to realize is when families are out rallying, like we see a family with a T-shirt, we see them with a sign, we see them standing in front of City Hall. What we don't see is the fact that somebody had to pay for that T-shirt. Someone had to design that T-shirt. Someone had to design those posters. Someone had to pay for those posters. Someone had to take off work. Someone had to put gas in the car. Someone had to find daycare or nanny or whatever, or if there's any small children involved, someone had to be accountable and be responsible for being an adult and continuing to live their life and continuing to fight for justice. So they also have that GoFundMe. So we need to rally behind them and support them with raising money to be able to fund justice for Jabril Robinson. We also need to make sure that we share this petition, because the more we share it, the more likely it is that a major news outlet will pick it up. Mm-hmm. What I'm convinced about is that we have some of the sorriest ass local politicians elected by man. I don't know how the hell we put them in office, but we did. And they're there and they're just sucking up air. And so it's like, this can no longer be just a local fight. This fight has to take, it has to take its own wings and go statewide. It has to go national, because these local officials, they band together, they do this buddy system, and they act like nothing's can happen to them. For one, we put them in office. It was our votes. And we're asking her. What'd you say, Naya?
That's because they're the color of our skin don't mean that for us.
At all. It's okay for them to have us standing outside holding up signs, wearing T-shirts saying, "Oh, vote for me, vote for me, vote for me." They get in office and they don't even want to look into cases. Mm-hmm. That's what your ass there for. Look into the case. So it's like, how do we sit and hold them to account? We don't vote for them another term. This is an election year. And I don't know if she's up for re-election, but it's a lot of them that are. Well, Clayton County
should be.
Yeah. So I want to see what happened. Hold on, let me mute myself and go find out when her term is up, so that we can turn out in record numbers to say, if you want our votes, you need to reopen several of these cases, because we know with the Jabril Robinson, once we open this case, We're gonna find 5 and 10 and 20 and 30 and 40 and 50 more because they know that they've been killing these kids in Clayton County for no reason for the longest. I've been incarcerated in Clayton County, and Clayton County ain't no joke at all. So we know
I
that we got
like
to stand for something with Clayton County and hold her to account. Victor Hill, his time is up, and her time needs to be up too because this is ridiculous.
because we need for her to explain how someone can be accused of shooting at the police but then get shot in the back. You don't have to be an astrophysicist to figure out that that doesn't add up, especially to be shot in the head. And they have the technology to see exactly how far the person was who shot. So, they can figure these things out. And the fact that she is not taking the time out to review and put these resources up, it just makes you look sketchy. It makes it look really sketchy. So not only are you not reviewing the case, it makes it look like you're covering up something, because if you had nothing to hide and if everything is fine, then why not prove it? Why not put it up in front of a jury and say, hey, this is the evidence that we have to say that? It would make one believe that the evidence isn't there and it's not working in their favor, which is why they're not looking into it. But we definitely stand with you. We definitely want, like I'm gonna keep saying, everybody go sign that petition. That's why the links are there. And once Shantae lets us know when we need to go out and vote for someone else other than, what's her name, Mosley?
Tasha Mosley.
Tasha Mosley.
Mm-hmm.
We need to do that. Any and everybody. And like Naya said, just because they're not, just because they look like us doesn't mean that they're for us. And this is a prime example of that. This is, the key piece in it. We have to do our research. And I feel like she probably had a good game plan going in. Like Shantae said, sometimes we are educated when we vote. Sometimes we are going out and we feel like we're voting for the right person, but they get up there and they don't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Was there anything else you would like to share about, do y'all have anything coming up, like a rally or anything that we can probably participate in?
Not at the moment. We don't have anything.
Well,
And he's a Christmas Eve baby, right?
Yes, he is.
That is so cool. My beloved is born on Christmas Day, so I'd be like, oh. But that's really nice. Little a Capricorn. I'm sure he was super joking.
this is what I'll say. So one, I'm going to lead in with saying my degree is in journalism. I actually have a 4-year degree. It took me a few more years than 4, but I actually have some kind of credentials that say that I'm good at researching. And I've been normally someone can give me something in about 1 minute. I don't research everything. Why can't I find out anything about Tasha Mosley other than 2019? Why is there nothing online posted about her being up for re-election? Why is there something about the governor actually appointed her to the Clayton Circuit District Court?
The governor.
Clayton Circuit District Attorney. Yeah. On
Kim.
October 15th. Yep, Kim named her to Clayton County Circuit District as Clayton Circuit District Attorney October 15, 2019 by the governor. So I'm saying all that to say there is nothing on here except for the fact that she's not prosecuting Victor Hill, which we ain't even going to go there either. That's a little something different. But there is nothing on here about this woman and when her term ends. DA Mosley not prosecuting Sheriff Hill. That's the Clayton Crescent. Her IG. Where will Mosley go next? Okay, let me see. Maybe this. No, that's Mississippi State. Like, it's cross-referencing. And that is.
I just feel like if Kim likes her,
Then you know something wrong.
can't be no good. Well, we already know she's no good. She didn't even we didn't even need Kemp's sign of disapproval because she's not doing her job. Her job is to look into cases and to prove things for the state, and that's not what she's doing. Um,
Hey,
have you
county attorney. So,
did you want to touch on any events that you guys have done for Jabril? Like any
We
memorial? Do y'all do anything for his birthday?
Yeah. Every year we try to like plan, even if it's nothing big, we try to plan um like a little party. You know, where we'll do a little something where we're doing something at the house with his family or something. So, for his 30th, we're probably going to do like a big party. Um, but yeah, we do something every year for him on his birthday.
Okay, nice. Did you find it, Chantal?
hello. What'd you say?
Did you find it?
No,
No, I was
I,
saying,
I
did you find
started.
it?
I went through Bing. I went through Google. I went through different search engines. I found that she makes $60 an hour. That's how much she's being paid. I found that, but there's nothing here about when she's up for reelection.
So generally, we just need to move. Then we need to move with you set let them know the social media handles that so people can follow and keep up when you guys do rally.
So we have an Instagram page for
I
him,
know the one I follow is
Justice for Jabril, and
oh,
then my mom, Jabril Forever 23.
I just, you know,
so
I wish that there
everybody.
were words that I could give you or say to you that can make this whole process a little easier. And I know there's no words. Um, it's an atrocity. The way that you're being treated, the way that your family's being treated, the way that he's being disrespected. Anyone who knows me knows I don't even believe that that's anything other than a word. But this is a very disrespectful situation. He deserves justice, and y'all deserve to know what really happened because there's another missing conversation like not to step over, such as when he ran and when it was just him and the police officers. And
Hmm.
we know he was unarmed, and we know that he was running, so his back was turned. For him to be
Did they
killed
have
at
body cam footage?
They
no,
did. They didn't have body.
they had their body cams off, but for him to be
Oh,
killed execution style, there's a conversation to be had, and so it's like, what happened during those last moments? And as a mom, my heart goes out to your mother. As a sister, my heart goes out to you because I couldn't imagine having to deal with this with one of my siblings or with one of my children. Um, so I just want to offer up condolences, and I hope that y'all find out what happened during those last moments of his life because that's what's it. I mean, all of it matters. It's all important, but they need to be prosecuted. There's no reason for this young man's life to have been taken when he was unarmed. He wasn't under arrest. He wasn't handcuffed. They can't say he was resisting arrest. Like, what would he even be being arrested for? Yeah,
that's the
yeah,
thing. It was right. His mom said he was literally running for his life. What people don't realize and run because it's always this conversation of he was resisting or why did he run if he wasn't doing anything? It's because we're literally being haunted. So, or hunted rather. So, that's kind of what you do when someone's running at you with a gun pointed at you.
Yeah, and a lot of people. That's a
You
lot
know,
of people. Why was he running? Why didn't he just surrender? I mean,
he wasn't under arrest. If somebody points a
it,
gun at you and you're not
what?
under arrest, what are you gonna do? You gonna break just because they're wearing blue? Do they not watch the news? If a police officer pulls me over, you think I'm Soldier Boy. I got my arms out the window like this. They be like, why your arms out the window? Because I don't trust y'all not to kill me.
Exactly.
Like, it's come to that. He was running for his life. So I pray. I will keep y'all in my prayers. And my heart feels so heavy right now.
Yeah, we have to fight to know.
Yeah, our show is usually an hour long, and
Some
right
are
now I
fighting
just
to
feel a hot mess. I feel like my heart is heavy. Like I really feel my heart literally feels heavy for you and your family. Like I can't even imagine this. So who all do y'all have in the community that's supporting you?
Um, well, my mom, she's in a group, Mothers Against Police Brutality. Um, this for Georgia. Um, we have a lot of good support groups and things right now that's helping us with
Good.
like getting lawyers.
have y'all been at
Hold on, Nikkei. Hold on, Nikkei. What'd you say?
But I was saying with lawyers and you know just the representation and stuff that we need.
What do you mean by representation that
absolutely.
you need?
Like with our lawyers, like with trying to get the case back back opened up and just things like that.
Okay.
Mhm.
Nikkei, what were you saying? You said,
I
have
always
you?
forget. But
We are not gonna say why you forget.
have been able to
I
pair
was
up
gonna say
with
I'm the
any of the
over
other
it.
moms who suffer the same, or the other families who have suffered the same, like the Jimmy Atchison or the other parents.
Yeah, so it's a
Because I know
group.
Sean,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
you could go ahead.
Yeah, so it is a group called Georgia Moms United. So the Jimmy Atchison family is in that group. So yeah, we connect with a lot of different families.
Yeah, I'm in that group. So
That's
yeah,
good to know. Oh, awesome.
yeah. Recently,
But yeah, I just wanted to know that because I know I've seen a lot of them together. So I was just wondering if we're able to gain that type of support, and if how beneficial it has been with your journey.
Yeah, going through situations like this, it's it's good to stick with families who have been through it.
yeah. And
So
if you need any kind of grief or trauma or anything, any kind of counseling like that, I do have a client who offers those services at no cost. Um, so I'll get you their information um, because talk therapy is everything,
mhm,
especially. But like that's not my story, but I have my own story, and I know that there's times in which everything seems fine, and then in the middle of the day, it can be the smallest thing to trigger you, and
yeah,
then you're there, and it could be a scent, it could be a song, and you're there. And what do
mhm,
you do in those times? When you're in the grocery store, do you break down and cry? Like, and sometimes you do. And so it's like making sure that it doesn't change. I mean, you're forever changed. You know
right,
that. Like
mhm,
who you know yourself to be will never be the same person as that 16-year-old. So you'll forever be changed, but making sure that you're not tainted and making sure that you're able to have a clear view on life and know that your brother wants the best for you and um, the best for you without any level of um, upset or any level of pain or any level of suffering. Um, he's paid that price for you to have a great life and to heal beyond trauma.
Did you see what Miss
So
Robinson said?
yes, it was there, and then it went. She's the co-founder of Georgia Moms United, as well as Tammy Atchison, the honor Jimmy Atchison, and Monte Monte.
So y'all are providing the support, which is beautiful.
Yes.
That is nice. That's very beautiful. Sometimes traumatic events allow us to work in our purpose, and that's cool. That's really cool. I know that it takes a lot. Like I said, I just can't imagine having to relive that all the time. But you guys are very strong, and I rate that. That's cool. That's dope to me.
And like I
Shantae,
said,
sorry.
What'd you say, DK?
I say you always telling me to stop, and that's dope.
Oh
But
yeah, it's
I
dope.
wanted to know.
And then anytime I get around recovering addicts, it's like, oh, I can't say dope. Oh, my bad. That's cool. Like
But
I ain't trying to
I
trigger
wanted to
anybody. I
know
get
more about
clinical.
his music
What'd you say? Or if I get around
because
the
your mom.
when I get around the DA crew, that's
I'm sorry.
the older people. We can't use dope because they're looking at us like, what is this language that they're speaking? Like we just morphed in from outer space with this young folks language. So I'm not that young, but I
Yeah, I wanted
die.
to know
I
more
try to
about
keep up
his
with you and
music
DK
because
sometimes. Yeah. Do you have any of his music? Is it copywritten? Like anything
um
to listen to?
he has a few of he has like a few freestyles on his Instagram page, and he does have some music on YouTube.
Okay, hold on, let me pull it
his
up.
Instagram page is still up.
Yes.
Is it the Justice for Jabril or is it a different one?
No, it's a different page. It's SLUMM_shot.
No
Underscore
stress.
shot.
Mm-hmm.
Because your mom mentioned that he talks about police killings and his police brutality in his music.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's see if we can. All right. Let's see if I can do a shared screen. I think that would be a great way to end this segment off with one of his music videos or a snippet of it. What do you think, Nike?
That sounds cool to me. I wish I would have known. I definitely would have added it to the slide.
I'm a hip hop fan. That's my background, and Nike Rebel for
I
a
just
reason.
like everything artsy. Anybody expressing their passion, it gets me going. So that's why when you said, when she said he expressed it in his music, I was like, I want to hear that.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, okay, give me one moment. Y'all know I'm a little old.
He passed away, and we were going through some of his things. We found like a lot of his writing. He was writing a lot of music.
Wow, y'all should publish it. Look, let me not. But
Can y'all hear it?
it'd be really cool.
Can you hear it?
Yeah. I don't need this. Chinese tricks. Don't give up. Yeah. Yeah. She tell a nigga get a line. I say I am. I'm trying to get a line.
Play this one.
But this shit ain't right. I gotta rob and my nigga doing right. Yeah. Wanna whip that up. Go right ahead. We gon' eat that up. Give it up. Now my family on. Run into my slum and my crime we on. Niggas stick to the strip, but I didn't. I was different. Gotta get it if you want it. I ain't never had a plug. I ain't never had nothing. These niggas say.
Oh, my my apologies. With us being on a platform, we can't say the N word. How do I know that? Because I've said the C word, the like buffoon, but not buffoon, and
The opposite,
got in
right?
trouble there. Yeah. So, but during our downtime, we will listen to his music, and I'll share it on my social media platforms, and we will honor him and respect and remember his legacy and the legacy that he was leaving with his music. As Nike types in language, ooh, Julius is gonna get me for this one. I'm always getting in trouble, Naya. Like, oh, so thank
But
you for
not
being our
thank you so much for being on
Thank
the
you.
show. We want to thank you for coming out. Thank you for being an amazing Black woman, strong sister that's holding up these men. And even when, things don't go great, we stand behind them and we make sure that their legacy goes on. And that's beautiful. And I don't want you to ever take that lightly because you could have not did anything.
Yeah.
You could have let it go under the rug. You could have. So we commend you for that and keep going. And whatever we can do to help, we will. And I'll make sure that petitions get shared on our social media platforms, like Shantae said, and make sure I sign them myself.
Is
Thank
there
you.
is there anything else that you'd like to say?
Would you like to ask the public anything?
Oh, just to, donate to the GoFundMe, sign his petition on change.org, and, his music. You can go watch it, listen to it, run up the views on his YouTube, and that's it. Any support, we appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
All right. Since I'm engineering, y'all gotta give me 1 second. Let me figure this out. This is intro, so that can't be it. All right, let's try this one. Peace. Let's bring me in.
Until next time.
Like this. 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 Like this.